We are back with another episode of the Max Coverage Podcast. I'm Kiefer Gazard. With me normally is regular Max from Max Coverage. But today, we got mad, sad, disappointed Max.
Hey, guys.
How does it feel? You are officially just like the Jaguar family, sitting your ass at home watching other teams play.
You know what, guys? Let me just crack this open for y'all real quick. It's very nice to see everybody. Very good to see you, Kiefer. And wait, hold on. I was going to use this today. I was going to use this freaking coaster today. You know what? God fucking damn it.
Just forget it.
No. Get the fuck up out of here, man. You know, I'm just getting a little pissed off. You know what? Our season's over.
Pack it up.
Our season's done. You know what? Time to pack everything up. Season's over, guys.
And leave it packed up because things might not be the same.
Season's over. Season's over.
The dynasty potentially could be over. The freaking dynasty could be over. But let's get right into the game, Max. Let's get right into it. We know you're upset. You're Mad Max today. What the fuck went wrong? You guys, wow, mind-blowing, like, way to just disappoint the entire world. What the hell happened?
I'll tell you what happened, Muddy. From the get-go, we look good. First drive, we're driving right down the field. You know, we scored that touchdown. It's up 7-0. I said, man, this ain't like, the past. You know what I'm saying? We actually scored on the first drive against this team.
And it looked effortless, too. You guys didn't even have a third down on that drive.
You know what? I'm over here chilling. I'm feeling pretty good. But then after that, you could just feel something in the air, man. It's just something in that air. Like, we weren't in sync anymore. We were going 3 and out. I think like 3 times in a row we went 3 and out. Mercedes.
Well, it started with the Mercedes.
Mercedes, big dog, Lewis, fumbles the ball. Like,
Fred
his
Warner
fault.
punch out, right? Wasn't it Fred Warner?
Yeah. Just completely, like, after that, you could see the momentum just shift. It just shifted on their side. And, I started to get a little worried. But you know what? Our defense played phenomenal. So I wasn't too worried. I was like, our defense is we're stopping them. They can't even score. They can't even get past the 50-yard line, man. We had them, negative 10 yards?
Something
almost
like that.
To the halftime, bro. Like, Jimmy G drove down the field right before half, and then we picked the ball off with Amos. Cut Kittle off, but Jimmy G was late on the throw. And I'm just like, all right, well, then we got the ball back, and then guess what? Remember, I said, what was our Achilles heel throughout the year? Our special teams. I said it throughout the season. We get down there, time's about to expire for the half. They blocked the field goal, okay? It was about a 43-yard field goal, I want to say roughly around there. They just block it.
What happened on that block, though? I remember watching it with you. What happened?
I don't know this guy's name. And I don't want to freaking know his name, but I think it was number 95 on our special teams. He's lined up, to block.
He's the outside. He's the last guy on the left, the outside blocker.
Literally just stands there and lets the guy blow right by him that blocks him.
He basically started the play like almost a full 2 seconds after everybody was moving. Like the whole rest of the line had already started to shift. He was still he was still set. Like, he was set way too long. I don't know what the hell was wrong with, like, maybe he had the snap count wrong or something, but, like, literally everybody was moving before him.
Yeah, that was when, I was like, whatever, a block field goal. It might come around and haunt us. Well, it did. It did. The second half, our offense looked stagnant, didn't look in sync at all. We didn't make any in-game adjustments. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. We didn't do anything differently. Matt LaFleur, this is when I hold you to a higher standard. You want to be considered one of the, young prospect great coaches in this league, right? Yeah, you went 13 and at least 13 wins in your all 3 seasons, okay? So nothing to poo-poo on, but listen to me. You got to make adjustments because the guy on the other side, Kyle Shanahan, he did. And they were starting to double Devontae. They started stopping the run. A.J. Dillon gets hurt, he broke his rib. but he was basically done. Aaron Jones was getting everything done through the air. We weren't having any luck on the run. All right, so that was one thing Kyle Shanahan did, and just like, I just feel bad for our defense. That's it, man. Like, they played lights out. Like,
they definitely did. Your special, and we didn't even talk about the punt block, because honestly, they didn't even, like, San Francisco's offense didn't even produce a touchdown. They blocked a punt for a touchdown. And interesting enough, I know this never would have happened, but somebody brought this up on the radio this week, and I was like, damn, that's a really good point. If you guys literally, I know nobody would ever really do this. Like, I'm not holding this to LaFleur, because honestly, like, I don't think anybody would do this. But because of the time that was on the clock, like, I think there was, like, 7 minutes left when that happened?
When the block punt?
Yeah.
It was 4 minutes.
4 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys would have instead taken a safety and given yourself the ball back, you could have potentially ate up a lot of time right there.
Yeah.
But I understand why you wouldn't do it, because then it puts them in range to actually, like, win the game rather than tie the game.
And you know what pissed me off the most? Because you remember they went for it on 4th and 1 with 6 minutes left in the game, and we stopped them. Rashawn Gary stops the fucking run on 4th and 1. So I'm feeling like, yo, we're about to seal this, like, game, because at that point it was 3-10. We were up by 7, and you have 6 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? That was a huge stop. That's like a momentum breaker right there. But then our team just couldn't get it. Like, our offensive team stunk. And, like, you know what? This was one of the, like, I've been let down from this team for the past about 12 years now. We haven't been to a Super Bowl that long. But this one was the worst. I feel like you watched the game with me.
Oh, dude, I was so annoyed.
I was just sitting there at this point. I was like, you know what? I'm just fucking used to it by now. When we lost to the Bucs, I was hurt. I was in pain, man. But this one, I was anger. I had anger in me. I wasn't sad. I was just pissed. Like, this one stung. This one stung because, you know what? This could have been the last time we saw Aaron Rodgers in a Packers jersey. I mean, let's be honest here. Coming into the season, that was the number one headline for us. Now, look, we're back in the offseason now. Early vacation. Early vacation, guess what? That's going to be the main freaking storyline.
And we'll get into that a little later into the show. But I do want to say...
in here.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Don't say blow, pack, blow. Good job. Good win. Screw you, buddy.
And I want to say, before we move on to another game, I do, like, so it's easy to blame the special teams, right? Like, that is clearly what solely lost you the game was the punt block. But to me, I got to put it on Aaron Rodgers more than anything. Like, dude, you are the defending MVP. You were in a two-man race for this year's MVP, and you put up 10 points. Okay, I'll give you the missed field goal, too. 13 points. That's ridiculous. And you got home field advantage? Absolutely absurd.
And that's what, the bye comes in play. You remember, and we're going to touch on it, both the number one seeds lost. Okay? They both had a bye. So that's something to think about now. Like, you're rolling into the playoffs and you just have a little bye week.
Yeah, I'm not blaming the bye.
I'm not either.
You can have full steam practices, like in a controlled facility. So that's team. If that's what came into play, then that's team management. And I just want to say that your coach of the year pick did not age well from last week.
None of my picks aged well.
What were you?
I was 1-3, man.
I
didn't.
Okay,
I didn't get any of these games right, guys. I mean.
Yeah, the Saturday game screwed me up. So let's go ahead and move over to the other game that screwed my picks up. The Bengals and the Titans. This was, honestly, the best weekend of football.
Oh, yeah.
Everything came down to either a last-second field goal or an overtime touchdown. I mean, what more can you fucking ask for, right? But this game right here in particular, the Bengals and the Titans defense was doing 9 sacks on Joe Burrow.
Oh, my God.
9 freaking sacks, 3 alone from Jeffrey Simmons. Watch out for that guy. He's a freaking monster.
A beast, dude.
But on the Titans side, like to me, the Titans lost this. Actually, specifically, Ryan Tannehill lost them this game. He opened the game with an interception. That's how the game started. Okay. Yeah. He had another interception in between, and then on the last offensive possession for them, it was 16-16, and he threw another pick that gave the Bengals the ball back, and then they went and got the field goal that won them the game. Absolutely absurd.
I will say,
I can't believe he did that.
One pick was phenomenal play by Hilton.
Yeah,
we batted it up in the air, tipped it.
But dude, 3 in one game.
You can't do that.
Damn, bro. And the worst situations. Like literally you open the game to kill your momentum, like right off the fucking bat. And the Titans defense held them to 3 points on that. Even after you put them on your side of the field to start the game, they still held them to 3. So, just completely on Tannehill, man. If I'm Mike Vrabel, bro, I'm like looking this offseason and I'm like,
but you know what sucks?
If I want to get over this hump, I want to make a fucking move.
They just paid the man.
They did. They'll have to trade him.
Yeah.
But I think somebody would trade for him.
This was the first time a quarterback has won in the playoffs that has been sacked 8 or more times since Donovan McNabb in 2003.
Incredible.
How do you lose that game? But Joey B is that dude, bro. Joey B and Evan McPherson, he has ice in his veins, man. You remember what he did right before he went out there to kick that field goal? He was warming up. He looked at Brendan Allen. He goes, looks like we're going to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking drained that 52-yarder, ice cold in his veins, baby. He has 8 field goals now as a rookie in the playoffs. Okay. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to touch on. Derrick Henry came back. He scored a touchdown, but didn't really do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to say, like, they said that he had no limitations, and he did get 20 carries, but I kind of still feel like they made him, like, he was not just take over the game Derrick Henry. Like, they subbed in Foreman a lot. He only got 4 carries, but he was in the pass game a lot. He was in, for snap count-wise, he was in a lot.
And he was in during, like, the last drives, too. Like, Foreman was, like, I was like, where the fuck is Derrick Henry? You know, like, he should be out here right now. And, yeah, Foreman got most of the burn in the second half.
Yeah.
I think they were just like, oh, you know, we're going to keep Derrick, nice and fresh for next round. So, well,
okay.
Yep,
okay, pal.
Too bad. You're out. Bye. Yeah, I mean, good win. Bengals, and wow, who would have thought the Bengals would be in the AFC Championship game, man? I called the upset week 1, but I didn't think they're going to be this good. I was like, man, good for y'all. Zach Taylor should be a fucking Coach of the Year candidate. We overshot Zach Taylor. Let's go.
I gave him an honorable mention.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you did. My bad. I overlooked him. I mean, he might actually win now, but you don't count the playoffs, of course. But the Rams and Bucks, this one started very, very boring, it seemed like. Very like, what's
the Rams
going on?
were blowing them out to start the game.
27-3.
There was just like a lot of mistakes on the Buccaneers half, and Tom Brady too. But they started off very slow. And I actually have to admit that I fell asleep.
Oh,
when it went to half, I was like, I'm going to take a little nap. And I didn't wake up until it was a ball game again. Go ahead and tell us what happened in the second half, Max.
In the second half, I mean, bro. You know what's funny? My girl was like, let's go to the store and pick up some dinner stuff, right? It was about, 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I said, no, I ain't going nowhere because she's like, this game's over. I was like, it's never over with Tom Brady. It's never over.
No, it wasn't.
And as soon as that 8-minute mark hit in the fourth quarter, it turned into a ball game. Okay? Mike Evans made a nice little play on Jalen Ramsey, went a little went right by him, burned him for a 50-yard touchdown to put him up, put him down like 27-20. And I'm like, hold on now. Now we have a game. It's not.
And then Cam Akers.
I
saw that.
The Cam Akers fumble happened.
Yeah.
And it was
he had 2 fumbles in this game.
Yeah,
too.
he did. And he didn't get back on the field after that second fumble. But yeah, I mean, Cam Akers fumbled. Bucks get it. And I'm talking about they get it in like the 20-yard line. They're already in the red zone almost. 25, 20-yard line. So they're pushing down the field, burning clock. They don't have any timeouts now, you know what I'm saying? And they go for it on 4th and 1, and everyone's, going to think, Tom Brady's a really great QB sneaker. He's probably just going to keep this himself. He said, no. Drops back, hands the ball off to Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette kicks it out to the right, scores a touchdown. He basically walking in. It was, no one was around him, basically. So it's tied 27-27. I said, hold the phone, guys. Hold the phone, because the comeback has happened. But guess what? You remember Matt Stafford, even when he played with the Lions, he was the comeback king in the NFL. He had the most, fourth quarter comebacks. Like, I don't know if it was ever or like in a season or
yeah, he had a lot.
He had a lot. Okay,
they just didn't win a lot of games, but the ones that they did win, they came back.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly what they did. Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp connected on 2 long, deep balls. I don't know how in the hell Cooper Kupp was wide open.
I know, dude.
Like what are y'all doing?
Thinking right
Come
now?
on, double the guy.
Yeah, if there's one guy that you need to cover in this situation, it is definitely Cooper Kupp.
They had about 30 seconds left. They hit 2 long, deep balls, put them in field goal range, and Matt Gay lines it up, kicks a game winner with time expired. I mean, it was a freaking fireworks show out there, man.
It's beautiful.
And I'm
Beautiful.
glad.
Goodbye, Tom Brady, and potentially forever. But we'll get more into that later. You got anything else for this game?
I don't. They missed Tristan Wirfs. I will say that.
Yes, they did.
Because their D-line, the Rams, was all over them, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For sure. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the most epic game of the year by far. Probably in my top 5 games I've ever watched. Ever. The Bills taking on the Chiefs, man. Just a complete fireworks show.
Yeah. I mean, and one thing about this game, it was, close the whole game. It wasn't like, this team was blowing out this team. No. They were neck and neck, going back and forth.
It felt like the Bills would score, the Chiefs would score, Bills would get a stop, Chiefs would get a stop. Yep. Like, they were, like, mirroring each other throughout the game.
It was 14-14 at halftime. And, the last 2 minutes of this game,
dude,
18 points scored combined through the two teams. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Gabriel Davis. Have yourself a day, sir.
My DraftKings play of the day, man.
Because not only did Gabriel Davis, show out, he made history in this game. He had 4 touchdowns. No player in NFL history has ever done this in a playoff game, okay? 4 receiving touchdowns. Not even Jerry Rice. I mean, man. Gabriel Davis, he had over, 200 yards?
Yeah, 201 yards.
Man. And
imagine scoring 4 touchdowns, 201 yards, and your team loses the game.
And you know what's funny? They actually released a mic'd, because Josh Allen was mic'd up, I think. He walks up to Gabriel Davis and he's like, "Hey man, how's it feel to catch your 4th touchdown and send us to the AFC Championship game, man?" And he's like smacking him and shit. And then it was like on Twitter when I saw the clip, and they're like, "Oh no!" Like they left 12 seconds on the clock.
Yes, dude.
12.
Oh, my God. 12 seconds. And the Bills' defense, the number 1 defense in the NFL at the end of this year in scoring, could not stop them to get that field goal within 12 seconds.
And the worst
13 seconds.
The worst part was Travis Kelce called the whole thing. He went up to Tyreek Hill because Travis Kelce was mic'd up as well. He went up to Tyreek Hill and he was like, "Hey, 10, if they're going to, play outside, catch the ball, come back in, and let me say, that block. Let me say you that pick so you can, make a play." And they had 2 timeouts, so they had plenty of time to throw in the center of the field.
And that's why their strategy didn't make any sense, because they were playing the outside. I guess they wanted them to burn the timeouts, but it's like, dude, they've got 13 seconds. That's 3 plays if you're super fast?
Yeah, and the kick return set them up pretty well.
Yeah.
And that was another thing. They're like, "Oh, they should have squibbed it." Like, okay, when after the game's over, we're always going to be like, they should have done this, they should have done that, they should have done this. I mean, like, but they did put Tyreek Hill back there to return that kick return. So when I saw him back there, they haven't used him in kick return in a while. You know what I'm saying? So they kicked it to him. He had a great run back and then set it up for too long. The freaking Travis Kelce catch. He literally was like, "Oh, okay, if they going to play like that, the seam's going to be wide open in the middle." Travis Kelce lines up in the slot. He does a little hesitation move, cuts back in for a seam route in the middle of the freaking field for what, like 20-something yards. Sets Bucker up for a 48-yarder. I mean, of course the dude's going to drill it, even though he was struggling in this game.
Yeah, he did.
But, yeah, man, I mean, this game, it went to overtime, and here comes the overtime controversy.
Yes, and we already touched on it. We were going to talk about this in our overtime, or in our NFL league change rules, or rule change episode. But that to me, this is a prime example on why something needs to be done. But we'll get more into that in that episode because I have too much to say to do it on this one episode or this one segment. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely controversial that Josh Allen does not get the ball back at all after scoring a touchdown to me. But Chiefs win it, and I'm not even like trying to take anything away from the Chiefs because if you remember, this exact same thing happened to the Chiefs. 2 years ago? No, 3 years ago.
Yeah, with
3
Brady.
years ago with Brady.
Mm-hmm.
The first time they made it to the AFC Championship game. This is basically exact same scenario, except Patrick Mahomes is standing where Josh Allen is. So, that's the game of the NFL.
And then, before we move on, and then Patrick Mahomes' wife or fiance does it again. She's always in the headline. She takes the champagne bottle. She's spraying it all over these fans in the freezing cold weather, by the way. Freezing cold. So you're getting all of them sticky. You're freaking getting it on babies and stuff. People are saying that this lady intoxicated my kid because they got champagne all over him. And, it's going to give them hypothermia.
I'm going to be honest with you, though. I think it was ridiculous for sure, but I did feel like when I watched the video, it looked like the fans wanted her to. I'm not going to lie to you.
Some of them probably like, yes, baby.
I felt like they did want it. Like they weren't, I don't know. I felt like the internet was killing her more than maybe honestly.
They always kill her.
I feel like anybody that's saying something about that, like their baby, like that's like, to me, that's like a money grab. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like, come on, dude. All right, then why do you even have the freaking baby there? It's a freaking playoff
NFL
game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Dude. I don't think a football game is an appropriate place for a baby.
Hell no.
Do you got anything else for this game before we move on to some off-season bullshit?
I don't, and I'm just good win, Chiefs, and we're gearing up.
And that means that for the conference championship games, we got the Bengals taking on the Chiefs. And then the Niners taking on the Rams. We'll get more to that later. For now, let's spin back to the Packers. Okay, you talked about it a little bit. That could have potentially been Aaron Rodgers' last game as a Packer. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I really didn't think coming towards the end of the season, it was really changed my mind. Like I think that he would stay, but then. After that post-game press conference, that did not sound like a man that wanted to stay in Green Bay.
Sounded like a guy saying, "You know what? I've had a great time." He sounded like he was about to retire.
Dude,
honestly.
Well, I don't think he's gonna retire at all.
I know.
I know what
either.
you mean.
But
he was doing a farewell type of.
I love this city. Thank you so much for everything they've done for me and all this. And a lot of people was touching on that throughout the week. They're like Tony Dungy was one of the guys. He was just like, that's not what I want to hear from my quarterback after, we just blew it. We choked. Okay. This season, it felt different. But yeah, we just absolutely choked. And you want to see your quarterback say let's do this one more time. I know, I'm only here for I'm under contract one more year. A lot of people are free agents, but let's try to run this back because I have unfinished business.
Right.
You didn't hear any of that. It was more of thanks for this city. I love this city forever, but I'm not going to be here for no rebuild. So
yeah, that's basically what he said. So,
yeah.
To me, it looks like he definitely thinks that is going to be a rebuilding year. Because you guys are what, 45 mil over the cap right now?
We have right now, I think, Alan Lazard is a restricted free agent, and then Devondre Campbell is a free agent.
Yikes.
And he just went to an all-pro team, so he's gonna want that bag.
Yep. And he hasn't had it yet. That's another thing to keep in mind. It's different when you've been getting the bag and you've just continued to perform, but when you get it the first time, you ain't taking no discounts because you don't know how, if that's gonna happen again.
And then of course, Devontae Adams is a free agent as well. So, I mean, we'll see, man. I don't see us.
And one thing you didn't even talk about yet, Nathaniel Hackett also officially gone. He was going to be the head coach for the Denver Broncos. So I'll touch on that for a little bit.
And also, Rasul Douglas is a free agent.
Ooh, yeah, you got to get him back. That guy was like an unsung hero. Like, talk about a bargain, Jesus.
Yeah.
He had what, like 5 picks in his last 6 games or something?
And, you know,
ridiculous.
Jair came back, and I didn't really see him on the field too much. So, I mean, bro.
Bakhtiari ended up missing, which was weird.
Oh, yeah.
But for offensive coordinator, though, so since that hole's opened up, some people that you guys have interviewed, Luke Getsy, your quarterback coach, pass game coordinator, and then Adam Stinovich, your offensive line coach, run game coordinator, and then you guys have also interviewed Kevin Kroger, I think it's either Kroger or Kroger, the Chargers tight end coach, and then Brian Johnson, the Eagles quarterback coach.
And I feel like we're gonna sign Getsy to that. We're gonna promote him. I just feel like if I'm Matt LaFleur, you have guys that you probably already like. You know, you saw this coming. You already probably knew Hackett was gonna get some head coaching spots.
Right.
You know, at the end of the season, so you probably already like set yourself up for this. And I just feel like keep it internal. You know, promote somebody from within. You know, like. Especially your quarterback's coach. That's what LaFleur did.
Right.
So I just feel like he's going to get the job, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Is this a full rebuild year? Like, is this the time to strip down and reload?
No, I mean...
And what are you looking... Because obviously you guys are going to have to trade Aaron if he wants to leave. What are you looking to get back in compensation?
Well... This is why I don't think it's a rebuild. I feel like we're going to figure something. I feel like next year will be the rebuild year.
Like you guys will try to squeeze out one last year?
Yeah, we're going to try to run it back one more time because – but the thing is, if we do that, then Rodgers leaves and we get nothing. So now we're in a pickle here. Do we trade Rodgers and get something back like you're saying? Or do we just let it ride and let him
What would you do if Aaron said – if you're Gukovic or whatever fuck his name is, Gudakis, and him and Rodgers are sitting down there talking about it, and he's like, hey, listen, man, if you come back, I will try to bring as many people back as possible. Would you rather take that route for the one last year, or would you trade him and start the process and get some shit?
I would try to do one more year. I mean, you have the team, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's some key guys that's free agents, but we have a lot of guys like that are on contract still. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the roster's built to freaking make one like a push. Like if we bring back Rodgers, we're gonna be back where we are this year. We're just gonna be we're gonna win the division, of course, and we're gonna be a Super Bowl contender. But without him, it won't happen. But I just feel like. You have to run it back, man. Like I know, we're not gonna get anything from him if we do bring him back and not trade him. But you just got to do it, man, because I feel like it's now or never. If I'm Gudakis, if I'm Matt LaFleur, do I want to win a Super Bowl? Because this next season could be the last for a while.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I mean, I'm always all in on a Super Bowl. So I'm with you. I think it'd be more beneficial to try to win another one because you should have freaking made it farther than you did this year.
And then we can tag Adams for this one year. Yeah. That's it. We won't have enough money to fucking sign Adams unless we got rid of some guys and play with some other people's contracts. But I mean, there would be people that they could cut if they were trying to get that one last year, and I think that they would do that. And if Aaron was going to come back, I also think he'd restructure his contract in a way to make it a little more favorable because I think like a good bit of that cap hit is Aaron's, and that's how he basically got control of this situation was through the cap hit because his cap hit is like $40 million of that. Yeah. And another thing I would do is I would basically be like, Aaron, listen, we're going to go into this draft. You're going to be...
You get to pick.
Yeah, you're going to be with us in the war room, and you're going to...
I think that would be a very smart
And
play.
you're going to... I mean, if I was Matt, I'd be like, listen, if this is going to be your farewell season, we're going to give you all the cards. Yeah. This is going to be your season. Draft pick who you think we should get, and I just feel like that's how you do it. Keep them happy. I mean, I don't know, man. But
there's a lot of noise now. There's a lot of noise now. The Hackett's over there in Denver. They're like, dude, they could just be doing this whole freaking thing.
And we're gonna hear about it.
Oh, they're gonna call. They're gonna call.
Oh yeah, they're gonna call.
But if
John Elway.
So let's say that like it's unfixable. Aaron's like, I'm leaving, and Devontae's like, yeah, Aaron's leaving. I'm leaving. Obviously, no matter what, you guys are tagging Devontae because even if you get rid of him, you're definitely going to want to get something for him. And if you tag him, he's definitely a player you can tag and trade.
Yeah.
So, given those circumstances, if you have to trade them, what are you trying to get for each?
Definitely draft capital. I mean,
But like, what kind of capital?
Yeah, I would say I'm looking for a first or second round, honestly.
Each?
For Adams and Rodgers?
No, like individually. Like, what do you want for? Like, what would you accept for Aaron?
Oh,
what would you accept for?
For Aaron, I want
Adams?
a first, like for sure, a first and a third, and maybe throw in somebody, but like I don't know who we want in return. Like,
yeah, it depends on the team.
I don't want a fucking quarterback, like especially if we're talking about Denver. I don't want fucking Drew Walker.
Yeah.
Like,
if we're talking about Denver,
like I don't want none of them, but I'll take like a fucking, like someone else that's nice, like Patrick Surtain or
what
something.
about what if so let me just paint you another scenario. Okay, and we're just doing this for fun, guys. Okay, what if the Seahawks and Russell Wilson, their marriage, and Russ is like, I'm fucking out of here.
That's
would you do a 1-for-1 swap, Rodgers for Wilson, if they were like, look, dude, we're not going to give you anything extra, but we'll swap you Wilson for Rodgers?
I would only do that if I'm like Russ. If we're doing this, you're staying here for about 4 or 5 years.
Oh, so only if he'll like sign an extension.
Yeah, okay. I mean, because Russ is like he's 33, 34ish.
I think he's like 32.
Oh yeah,
but
so
he's getting in that range.
So 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's sign this up right now. I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do that, bro. Because I mean, you don't have to rebuild anything. All you have to do is
it's a sweet 1-for-1 fit with two very unhappy quarterbacks, and maybe we can start over.
Yeah, and like all you have to do is he has to learn the playbook, and that's you have all season to do it. That would be insane. But another thing, I think if I'm the Packers, I will never trade Rodgers to another NFC team. So.
But you just said you'd do it for Russ, though, right?
Yeah, I would do it.
That'd be like an exception.
I would do it for well. Of course, I would say that would be an exception. Like, but I'm thinking of all the other quarterbacks and who's like willing. Russ would be the only
in the NFC. I think he's like the only guy that is wanting to leave his team.
But something just happened this past week that a team is looking for a quarterback right now in the AFC.
Who's that?
The Steelers.
Yes, they are.
Because Big Ben retires, and. You remember the Mike Tomlin and Rodgers little smile? Remember when we played the Steelers? Rodgers was trying to get him off sides or something, and then like Tomlin took a timeout, and he was like pointing at Tomlin, and Tomlin was smiling back at him. Then the whole gossip bubble,
Yeah.
Oh, they're friends. Is that like? Could he be going to the Steelers?
I mean, that would be a really good fit for Rodgers.
Yeah, except for that.
I don't know. Yeah, I still think he could work with that. I mean, they have so many like weapons. Like that's the one thing the Steelers would need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like they just need to build their lineup. Their defense, their front seven's really good in my opinion. Their back four, the defensive backs, could use a little work, but it's serviceable. I mean, you got T.J. Watt on the other side, on the defensive side. So you're pretty much built besides the offensive line. So I think for Rodgers' point of view, that's a shoe-in awesome fit. But I think it would be hard to land because just how the Steelers run their organization.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you like an entire boatload of shit to get him.
And that's another thing. Like if I'm Rodgers, I'm pushing 40 now. I'm only gonna want to go to a team where I have full control of what the fuck's going on. Like I want a Brady deal,
for sure. And you want a Super Bowl contender off rip.
And I don't think the Steelers would let him do that, like you said. Like,
yeah,
I don't think he'll.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like there's only one team that could probably and that's the Broncos. Because if you know how John Elway is,
or if Tom retired,
oh yeah,
Tampa, that would be another shoe-in fit. But I don't know if you guys would want to do that.
No, I wouldn't. No, hell no.
Because just
that's when you're like, okay,
of it,
yeah.
I don't know if you'd want to do that.
But you know how Elway is. Even though he's not full control of the team anymore, this dude can't draft quarterbacks. They're always in the market. Like every single year, they sign a 1-year deal to Teddy. They sign a freaking 1-year deal to Locke was
Brock. They've drafted Osweiler. They've drafted that guy Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian.
Yeah, but he was like a 7th rounder. But that was the funny thing about Siemian because Paxton Lynch was the 1st rounder, but Siemian still beat his ass out.
Yeah.
And then Drew Lock, the 2nd rounder. So they've been through it
every
with
fucking year. They're like going through it. So like.
They've signed what is that guy? He wasn't a huge deal, but it was a decent deal. The guy from Minnesota Vikings, he had that good year. I'm blanking on his name. He's like a backup
Case
now.
Keenum.
Case Keenum. That was another guy that they paid some money to. They've traded for Teddy Bridgewater. They've tried so many different options.
Yeah.
And none of them have played out well.
So I mean, you got Rodgers. It's just like another Payton
Nathaniel
Manning.
Hackett already there. I mean, it is like that is definitely going to be his number 1 spot.
Oh yeah.
But we could talk about this all day. Honestly, I have so many other like scenarios that I could throw at you. So let's just go ahead and move on. Let's switch it back to Nathaniel Hackett. He actually got this Broncos job when he was on the way to go do his 2nd interview. Well, he was about to leave to go on his way to do a 2nd interview with the Jaguars.
And what a
mess.
That's
funny. And let's go ahead and talk about the Jaguars a little bit because it is a mess. So there was some news that dropped out by a very powerful young man with some strings within the Jacksonville organization saying that Byron Leftwich was going to be the new head coach.
Yeah, celebrating.
Everybody was celebrating. Out. I mean, Barstool Sports literally let Chap drop a article that said Byron Leftwich is their new head coach.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened yet. We're still waiting for news. There have been so many rumors around this. This is why I can't, like, honestly, I do think that his information probably was good in some way because Byron was probably like their head choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, as of that moment.
And then they lost in the playoffs. So it kind of like, the Bucks lost in the playoffs. So it kind of like, sprung
it sprung it back up. Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, the Jaguars still had interviews lined up for later in the week. That's why I wasn't biting on this information because I was like, dude, it doesn't make any sense that if you know this is even if it's only contract stuff, even if that's all you're actually working out, like you're not going to still be interviewing other guys for this position when you're working on a contract with this guy.
Yeah.
No, like there was a lot of and there's rumors basically that, and this is probably true, but I don't know that this is true. So this is a little bit speculation, but also what people have reported is that Byron basically, first of all, they said he was lukewarm in general on Trent Baalke the first time. I don't think I talked about this.
No, you didn't.
Okay. They said the first time that basically Tight 10 XL, who is like the main people that cover the Jaguars, so I trust this information. They said that Byron was lukewarm on Trent Baalke in the interview. They said that Nathaniel Hackett was like, no, which is funny. But basically, they asked him who he would want as GM, and they said that he didn't have a good answer for it at the time. So the next day, he sent them a list of 5 names, like 5 personnel people he would want to try to hire. And then there were reports coming out that this vice president of pro player personnel, Adrian Wilson, was like the main guy Byron was trying to get, and that's what has been the holdup, which might be the case. I mean, that really could be it.
I can see that, yeah.
Like it's very clear that a lot of people do not want to work with Trent Baalke.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the one thing that is like crystal clear about this situation, which is why this is so embarrassing to me. Because like, I mean, I talked about Byron not being like a guy that I would even go after. I did have somebody bring up one point where I was like, okay, that actually is a fair argument. Like, so when Winston was still in Tampa, that offense actually had a great year.
Yeah,
the downfall was the interceptions of Winston. So, like, that is the one thing where you're like, all right, I mean, he did do it without Tom. But I'll say this. If we were to hire Byron Leftwich and that's what it took to get Trent Baalke out of here, I would think it's a home run situation. Like, I would honestly take almost any, minus Kellen Moore, but almost any coach, if it was what it took to get Trent Baalke out of the building, I would take it.
Yeah,
like I said, minus Kellen Moore, but everybody else.
Even if it was like a a short-term little deal, like say if Josh McCown gets the job.
Right. I would take Josh McCown to get Trent Baalke out of here. I really would.
Really?
Yeah, I would, dude, because I just don't think because to me, the fact that Trent Baalke is in these interviews and shit, it makes him the head man. And I can't have my head man be an idiot. And that guy is an idiot, okay? He's cutthroat. Nobody wants to work with him. That's not how an organization is successful.
I don't understand, like, the whole Shad Khan and Baalke relationship. Like,
I don't know.
Dude, what are you doing,
you know who hired
Shad?
Trent, right? You know who hired Trent?
No.
It was Caldwell.
Oh, okay.
So he's been here like for a while in like a lower level position. I don't know. I don't really understand that. Like you're going off a tree that you already fired. I don't understand why you're so committed to it. And it looks like it. Like I mean, I hope it sways it and gets him out of here. But honestly, even if he's not the GM, I still because of it. It just feels clear that he really likes Trent.
Yeah.
I feel like no matter what, Trent will be in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if he's not the GM, he will be offered a lower level job.
Yeah, no, like, that's another, like, I just don't understand the whole, like, bro, Shad Khan. If everybody that you're interviewing doesn't like this fucking
what
guy,
does that tell you?
Take the hint.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You want to change this franchise, you want to turn this thing around, then, you got to, like, make some tough decisions. I don't know if he's your best bud, his golf mate, his freaking Fortnite duo player. I don't fucking know, but it's just like, make a decision. Get him out of town. Like,
I mean, Darrell Bevell was about to get a second interview.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to work with this guy. And so also another thing that came out that was just completely outrageous and weird, they said that because they actually spotted the Jaguars plane in Denver, and that's when people like were thinking like they were
took
there.
A private, didn't they? I
yeah,
heard
it's,
they
it's
took
their
a private
jet. Yeah, we own our own plane. And we went there. I think we own it, or either that or it has the Jaguar emblem on it.
Shad Khan probably he owns everything. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. A lot of these teams do, but they were there to talk with Vic Fangio, and there was like first reports came that it was about head coaching job. Then it was about a defensive coordinator. I'm like, this doesn't even make any sense. You're telling me we're interviewing people for defensive coordinators before we have a head coach? No, that's stupid. And what they pinpointed was that Fangio has worked with Trent Baalke in San Francisco. So that's basically they're just trying. They're like it looks like at least from what we've seen, like they're trying to find somebody that will even freaking tolerate Trent Baalke.
Yeah,
so.
And I feel like that's what's going to happen, man. I mean, dude, now you're seeing all these big-name guys coming off the market coaching-wise. People are getting signed now. Like, Hackett's gone. Who else is gone? Eberflus is gone.
Eberflus
so it's like,
we'll
the guys that were in the building getting interviewed for the job, and actually Eberflus was a finalist. He came in twice.
Yep. He had a second interview scheduled too before he got that Bears job.
So it's like, you're seeing these guys that you brought in for an interview getting hired somewhere else. Well, I mean, it's not a freaking like fool me once, shame on you. It's like it's on me. Like what am I doing wrong, Shad Khan?
And both of your second interview guys got hired before you could do the second interview.
Damn.
So like one of those things. But let's go ahead and move on. What else do we have to say about the Jaguars? We'll see what the hell happens. Everything else would just be speculation at this point.
Complete mess. We thought by Friday we'll have a new guy in town,
but we do not. So let's go ahead and move on to the Bears because you just touched on them. They hired Matt Eberflus, and they also hired Ryan Poles as their GM. Ryan Poles was previously the executive director of player personnel for Kansas City. Mm-hmm. What do you think about those hires?
Eberflus, I'm not really big on. I know, like, Pat McAfee. I've been watching his show this week about him. The Colts. He was actually hired from Josh McDaniels. I didn't know that. When Josh McDaniels was coming in, supposed to be the coach.
Oh,
he was hired under Josh McDaniels.
That's funny.
Yeah, and he came from Dallas as a linebacking coach. I mean, he has good rapport, but we'll see, man. I don't know if this is going to be the guy that gets it done. I think the GM pulled up in a freaking Bentley or something. Like, I don't know if you saw that video. But he pulled up in Bentley, like a long-ass trench coat, like swagged out and stuff. And then, like, because Chuck Pagano was on Pat McAfee, he was like, okay, that's all fine and dandy. But now, the deal's done. You got your money, but it's time to go to work now. Like this.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those spots like Chicago is. It's just tough, man. You're definitely gonna have a rebuild coming up, and you play for right now Aaron Rodgers' division, so it's gonna be tough to win in that division as well. I mean, I hope the best for him. I hope he does well, but you know, I mean, dude, like I don't want to see someone fail, even though they were the fucking Bears. But I'm being optimistic for the guy. Good luck. You're gonna need it. So, but you got a good guy in Justin Fields, something to freaking build off of, and you got David Montgomery. Your offense is
no first round pick this year.
No first round pick. That's gonna be a bummer in the Hummer. But your cornerstone's there.
Right.
You've got to work on some offensive line struggles and your receivers. Mooney's good, but you're losing A-Rob. He's gone.
Because you're not going to pay him after what he did with Fields this year.
Hell no.
But what I think about these hires, Ryan Poles, I mean, I've already kind of told you guys, like, my thing with GMs, like, with GM hires, like, I just want to see that you came from a good organization that, like, drafted well and was able to develop players. So I have no problem with that. And I've even said, like, I think Matt Eberflus could be a fine candidate, just like you said. I mean, I'm always like, who knows, kind of with those kind of situations. But this is the one thing that I do look at, like, for them, I would have really wanted an offensive guy because of Justin Fields and because his development is so critical right now. So we'll just see what Matt can do with his hires, like who he'll hire as OC.
Well, Matt Nagy was an offensive guy, and
look where that got him, right? But yeah, that's the only comment I really have on it. We'll see how he does, and specifically, we'll see who he hires on his coaching staff to take over the offense.
That's the main thing. Like, if he hires a good staff, it could work, because like, of course, he's not going to be in Phil's ear. Right. You're gonna have to get somebody that will be, and it just depends on who you're gonna get. But.
Right. Okay. You got anything else for those guys?
No, I don't.
All right. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Vikings. They also hired their GM.
Yep.
Go ahead and try to say this guy's name.
So sorry if I butcher your name. No disrespect at all. It's Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. And I hope
that sounds about right.
Yeah, I hope I said
it's way better than I would have.
I hope I said your name right. And I have a little bulletin points about him. He actually joined the NFL in 2013. He was in finance. He left finance and joined the NFL. That's pretty cool.
What a fucking move.
Yeah.
Let me try to do that.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. You're in finance. So the 49ers hired him as a manager of football research and development in 2013.
Damn, I gotta start applying for random jobs, bro. I should just get on the NFL thing and just start applying.
Dude, as soon as I saw that, I was like, man, Kiefer should jump on this shit, man. In 2017, so he was there for 4 years. 2017, he actually took over the whole department over there. And the Browns GM, Andrew Berry, kept an eye on him, throughout his whole time with the Niners and signed him in 2020 as the vice president of football operations. So he's coming from the Browns. He did the VP of football operations for 2 seasons. So, I mean, good for him. He's young. He's a young guy. I know that. He's like 40, I think. So, let's see how he does. I mean, he's turning heads somewhere, so that's good for him.
Yeah, we'll see. I have no comment on this guy because I know nothing about him, really.
I did a little research, because of the Vikings. I'm like, let me see what this guy's about.
Right. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go back to the Giants. We already talked about Joe showing in. But they recently had a little press conference with him and the owner. And Joe Schoen was like, basically said that they are going to build around Daniel Jones, that they believe in Daniel Jones, and they're going to build around him, which... Wow. Okay, I don't think you're going to have much success here, but all right, good luck.
What did the GM say, or the owner?
The owner, yeah, and then the owner, yep, I was getting to that next. The owner comes out, and he's like, listen, we've screwed this kid up in every way possible, okay? We're going to try. We believe in Daniel. This is our fault. I do agree. I agree that you have not done Daniel any favors.
Yeah, he was like...
But I do not think Daniel Jones will end up being your franchise quarterback.
He was like, we fired quarterback coaches, offensive coordinators, head coaches while he was here. We just absolutely fucking ruined this guy's life.
Basically. That's basically what he was getting at.
So funny.
Oh, what? Okay, we are getting breaking news right here, actually,
are
and
we?
we are on the perfect segment. The Giants are hiring Brian Dabble as their
Whoa.
new head coach. It just came in as we
hear
were
that here
talking about the
first.
Giants. That's why I had to
On
stop for a second
MaxCoverage.
because it was like, wow, like how perfectly timed. We're right on the Giants. What do you
Wow.
think about this hire?
Remember I told when we talked about the Jaguars, I said he was my first #1 pick for y'all. Like I feel like this guy would have been great with Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dude, just look at what he did with Josh Allen. That's all you have to see is how Allen has developed from rookie year to now. I mean, that Brian Dabble is a huge part of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just shows. Hopefully, this will help Daniel Jones, but I don't think Dabble's like, man, fuck this.
Dude, I find this interesting. I agree with you. I think this is a great hire for them, but like, if you're Dabble, did you honestly go in there and tell them that you believe in Daniel Jones? That's what I want to know, and we'll probably never know the answer to that question because that is a closed door kind of question. Like,
Yeah.
even if they actually don't believe in Daniel Jones, like, let's just say they don't believe in Daniel Jones, but they know that this isn't the quarterback class. First of all, I don't know why you wouldn't just try to trade for a quarterback in their situation. They have 2 first-round picks this year. And
Yep.
I think that this
Top
would,
10.
and there's people that are trying to make moves. You're probably not going to get somebody like Aaron Rodgers, obviously, because he's not going to want to. But Russell Wilson, I believe the Giants were like one of those teams he put on an approved list last season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So like that's a guy I would be interested in. Like I would be trying to trade for a quarterback if I was the Giants. But
I feel like that's a that's a great
But
hire.
what I'm getting at here is like they could actually not believe in Daniel Jones. Like I think that is a possibility. Now that I see this
as
hire,
soon as we talked about him,
now that I see this hire for head coach, I feel like that could be the case because I don't know, man. I mean, maybe he did, maybe he does, maybe Dabble does believe in Daniel Jones, but I just feel like a guy like that, like he's not going to lie in an interview because he doesn't need to. Like he's a high profile coach. He'll get an opportunity. That's the only thing about it to me. That's
if you look at Daniel Jones, though, okay, I'm not comparing the two, okay. He kind of plays like Josh Allen without the fucking power.
a little bit, yeah. But I'll say this: he's a lot more freaking clumsy than Josh Allen is.
But
And he fumbles a lot more. I honestly, like, I get the comparison, like, in the skill set, but he's just so not good at it that.
But I'm saying, like, Dabble can, he can.
No.
I'm saying he can make some plays with him.
No.
I'm not gonna say he's gonna be
No.
his franchise quarterback.
Dabble's gonna get fired in this situation,
No,
in my opinion.
I don't think he will.
If they need Daniel Jones to be the franchise quarterback, if they're like, listen, this is gonna be your guy, and you're gonna live or die by him, I think that you're gonna.
They're definitely gonna draft. I don't know if you draft someone in the top 10. I wouldn't.
What, a
honestly.
quarterback?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
This year? I mean,
wouldn't.
dude, they already said they doubled down on Daniel Jones, and I get what you're saying. Like they could be lying and just saying that.
Well, that's
but
before Dabble comes in the fucking building.
that's true. That is true.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm Dabble, I'm like, yo, listen, like you're gonna listen to me, or I'm not coming here.
I agree, and that's why I was saying because they said they were going to build around Daniel Jones. That's why I'm surprised with this hire because to me that is a situation where you're going to get a crap head coach. You're going to get somebody that doesn't have options. That is just doing whatever it takes to be the head coach in the NFL. Like there are guys like that where they're like, look, this is my fucking window. I need to do this right now and do whatever it takes to become a head coach.
Yeah.
And then there are other guys that are good. They know they're going to get an opportunity and they're more strategic. And I think that's the way better route to go because like we talked about, you really only get 2 chances at it. I mean, if you fail the first time, you might get a second time and that's it. You don't get a third.
I will say this, man. Like I want to give the benefit of the doubt to the Giants. Like on paper, okay, they have the personnel on offense that Dabble can work with. Okay, they have Saquon. They have Darius Slayton.
Skill player wise, they definitely
They
need
have
work on that offense.
Kenny Galladay. Oh yeah, I mean that would be number one to work on.
But even
they have a
Saquon,
solid defense.
Are we still putting Saquon up there because he's been disappointing?
He has been, but I just feel like you're in a great dude's control now. Like Dabble is like an offensive genius,
But he doesn't used to run that much.
he
You think
never
he
had
will
a
now with
Saquon Barkley.
I agree with you. He never had somebody as talented as Saquon Barkley.
Bro, if the Bills had Saquon, Saquon would be going nuts up there, bro.
Yeah.
But like Saquon is, the skill is there, but he just bro, if I'm lining up playing defense against the Giants, what am I going to key in on? Okay, especially this season, he had fucking Mike Glennon as his quarterback.
Yeah.
They're not going to, respect Glennon. They're going to fucking load the box up and stop the run. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I take this past year, I'm going to delete that from Saquon's, like, history book, okay? Because, like, I can't knock Saquon. He was healthy almost like, he didn't miss a game, did he? Yeah, he missed a couple games.
This year,
games.
yeah. But not like the year before where
he stayed semi-healthy. I mean, but you just had a team where Mike Glennon's your quarterback. Like, you're not going to have any help, okay? Like, defense is going to key in on you. That's it. So, yeah, I feel like Saquon can still make some noise, and he might be something to look out for next season for a bounce-back year.
Yeah, he could. I mean, they needed to improve the shit out of that offensive line. Sure. But
you have two first round. Like you said, you have 2 first-round picks, and they're in the top 10. So you have 2 top 10 picks. Now's the time to build. Now's the time to do it, man. Yeah. So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on though. Let's go over to the Ravens, who had a surprising. I don't want to say firing because they said basically that they decided to move in different directions, but. Don Wink Martindale out as defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. To me, that was a little surprising. I know that the Ravens defense had a down year, but dude, look at all the injuries. Like, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
I don't know what the reasoning was. Honestly, it could have been like the Ravens just really wanted this guy, wanted this new guy because this guy worked for them again. They interviewed a few people, but they ended up hiring Mike McDonald from Michigan, where Jim Harbaugh, where his brother works and is the head coach. And before getting that defensive coordinator job, you know where this guy worked?
Where'd he work?
He worked for John on the Ravens as the linebackers coach. So
he's a Harbaugh guy.
Linebacker coach for the Ravens left, went to Michigan, became a DC. They got rid of Wink Martindale. Don Wink Martindale, because I think there's 2 people called Wink Martindale, but whatever. And then they brought him back as DC. And another guy that they interviewed actually was, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. Jaguars DC, Cullen.
Joe Cullen.
Joe Cullen. Yeah, they interviewed him too. So, which is also another former position coach. So they really building defensive
some Harbaugh guys
over
there, huh?
Really building defensive coaches over there. Just wanted to shout that out because I thought it was so funny that this guy's he basically just works for the Harbaugh family. He's basically like their family guy. Like when they need somebody, like, hey, you think you can fill in? Jim was like, dude, my defense sucks. I really need you to come over here and fix this, and then we'll let you go back to Baltimore. And he's like, man, fine.
And Jim's over here like, hey, I'm fucking leaving too. So don't tell nobody that yet, but I'm going to the fucking Raiders.
Yeah, basically. And maybe that was part of it. Maybe he was like, listen, I'm about to dip out of here, so you go ahead and bounce.
Hey.
All right, let's go ahead and switch over to the Lions. Yeah, I know. Who wants to talk about the Lions, right?
My God.
Dan the Man Campbell and Anthony Lynn, their offensive coordinator, they have also parted ways. They weren't fired, but they said we're both going in different directions.
That was early on in the offseason. That was like I think that was like one of the first.
Yeah, it was one of the first
coaches,
things. Yeah, it was. But it made sense because if you remember, Dan Campbell took the play calling duties from him. So it's not really like that surprising. But Anthony Lynn, a big name, so I just figured throw that out there. And then also for people that have just decided, you know what? I've had enough. I'm fucking done. Kevin Colbert of the Pittsburgh Steelers, their GM, he's stepping down. I looked at the list of people that they interviewed, and it was like, I got to give it to them. It was like all internal people. I was like, wow, dude, good for you guys. You're just like, we build this shit over here. We don't need nobody else.
That's the Steeler way, though.
That is the Steeler way. And that's why I said with the thing with Aaron Rodgers, that's why it's hard for me to see them giving up a lot because they like to build their shit, and they've had a great success doing it, so you can't really blame them. You know what I'm saying?
Packers
like, it's
the same way, though.
Yeah, you guys are. You guys are for sure. Let's see. Was there anything? Oh, yeah. And then obviously Sean Payton, the legend.
Yeah.
Decided he's going to step away from football. And it was interesting hearing him talk. It really did kind of feel like he just, honestly, I kind of feel like he just felt like the Saints situation was fucked. And he was like, I'm getting out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Because one, he basically said he didn't say it, but he definitely left the door open to coach again. He basically kind of said like he expects to coach again. That's what I felt like I heard.
He's 58. I feel like he will.
But the only exception, the only way I think that he wouldn't, this is the only exception, because if you've ever heard Sean Payton on TV, he does like to talk and he's good at it. And he basically dude, honestly, he was kind of smart with it because I felt like he opened up the door for him to get so many jobs in his
He's
final
gonna get
press
a TV
conferences.
person,
Oh yeah, he
yeah.
will, but he opened it up for everybody because he was like, I've been reading reports saying that like I might join this group, and he's like, I called my agent like, hey, have these guys called us? And the agent's like, nah. And so he was like, but I'm telling you, I am definitely
Everyone's
opening.
like,
But I felt exactly that's what I felt like he
CBS,
did.
NBC.
I felt like he was opening the door, like, hey, come on, guys, like let's
Yeah,
hear it.
Fox.
But yeah, so I thought that was a very smart and strategic play. But this is the only thing where I'll be like, there's a chance that maybe he doesn't go back to coaching. Because when I think about coaching versus like TV analyst type shit, dude, your life is so much less stressful as an analyst. Like, all you got to do is just judge others and the job they've done.
Yeah.
And like, that's it. And there's not that heavy like winning responsibility, that hefty. Like, it's so much free, and you can make just as much money doing it. That's the thing. So for me, that's the only exception, but I do expect him to come back to coaching unless he just loves it. He's like, this is great.
That's what I'm saying. The thing is that you miss like the game day. You miss like building up to game day. You know what I'm saying? Like
the team.
That's why a lot like the camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why a lot of like these guys are hard to fucking retire nowadays. Like you miss it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Sean Payton, man, he's definitely gonna get a spot somewhere on TV, probably next to Drew Brees on what was it, NBC?
Yeah, I could 100% see that. That would make a lot of sense.
And just to put it in perspective, guys, I'm gonna run some Sean Payton stats with you because hey, I saw this report and it pissed me off. Actually, kind of pissed me off. He said, "Is Sean Payton the most overrated coach of all time?"
What? Ridiculous.
I don't remember who posted this, but please drug test that guy. You're on crack if you think
I
Sean
understand.
Payton
Listen, I
is
understand
overrated.
that he's had some like years
Cracked.
that ended in disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Like they've had like, dude, they're another team kind of like you guys where like I've picked them to go to the Super Bowl multiple times, and they're like because of the roster and how good it was, and it ended up disappointing me.
Yeah.
So one time it was 100% their fault. I think it was against the Vikings that they dropped like the first playoff game, and they were so much better than the Vikings. They just lost for some reason.
And you remember the game? They got
the
screwed.
Rams. Yep,
They got
exactly.
fucking screwed.
Exactly. To me, I'm not gonna like sit here and do this all day, but I do think that team would have won the Super Bowl. Like I think that they had what it took to beat Brady. I really do. But whatever. Definitely not a disappointing coach. I mean, that guy is so consistent. Year in, year out, your team is like right there in the playoffs. Your defense is normally really good. Like, screw that, dude. That's stupid.
And so many people has vouched for Sean Payton. Like Chuck Pagano on Pat McAfee was like, this guy has one of the most brilliant minds. He said, as a defensive guy, Chuck Pagano was a defensive coordinator. And then, it was a nightmare to play Sean Payton. And, like, Pat was like, why? And he was like, just because of the personnel. Like, he has so many personnel groups. Yeah, so, like, you're a defensive guy. You're like, okay, let's key on this guy. Oh, let's bring it back. Let's bring in this whole new fucking team. Like, and like you actually see that these past couple years, like this past year without Drew Brees, Taysom Hill and Jameis, like, bro, they were this close to making the fucking playoffs.
Yeah,
and like the way that he uses Taysom Hill. That just shows you, like,
it
how
does show how much
well
of a genius he is.
of a
Would
coach he is.
anybody else have pointed that out when Taysom Hill came to training camp? You know what I'm saying? Like, because he came there to be a quarterback. He was a quarterback camp arm. You know what I'm saying? And like, he literally just knew. Like, he saw this guy play and was like, "Wow, this guy is strong as shit. He runs pretty fast.
He can do everything.
He can literally be a gadget player when he's not trying to play quarterback. When he's not wasting his own time." But let's go ahead and talk about the opening head coaching job now that is for the New Orleans Saints. They've brought in a few people to interview, either interviewed or have it scheduled. Dennis Allen, Brian Flores, Aaron Glenn, and Byron Leftwich. What do you think?
And also, remember we talked about it before air. The Saints were waiting for the Giants for Brian Flores.
Right.
So now that
that job dropped, Flores will be still looking for a job.
Yeah.
What do you think about those names though? Like who would you pick And
Such a tough spot,
why?
man. Just that team is in hell right now. They're at 74 mil and
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
cap.
they are screwed.
You know, Taysom Hill has 2 surgeries on his foot. I don't see him being back, and he is a Liz Frank injury. So you
Yep.
know, those you never really fully kind of recover from. You know, you
That's what
kind of
they
can
say.
tell. Yeah. So and then Jameis was on a 1-year deal. He's a free agent. I mean, what do you like? This team is just in shambles. It seems like, you know, great city,
It's a nightmare situation.
fucking love this city, but
But let's not discount how many good players they have on that roster, though.
oh yeah, I mean,
They got Slant Boy, who hasn't played for a while, but they got him.
and he hated Sean Payton, so I mean, he's gone, so maybe he'll like want to actually play again. I mean, even though he hasn't been healthy,
Or he could be a cap casualty, somebody you get rid of to get under
Exactly.
that cap.
But dude, like, all right. So let me just paint you a picture here. We're gonna blank out the quarterback position. You don't know who the fuck's playing here, right? You got Kamara, of course, beast. You got a great offensive line. What else do you have?
Defense.
No, I'm saying on offense.
Oh, on offense? Oh, yeah, the offense is a little struggly, but the defense to me
Oh
is
yeah,
where you're
defense,
like, wow,
you're
look
good.
at that.
Defense, you're good. I mean, I don't know who's their free agents coming
You're going to
up.
have to get rid of some guys.
Yeah.
To get under that cap, they're going to have to drop some guys. There's only so much magic you can do restructuring.
Yeah, so I mean, bro, I don't know. Like, I honestly, dude, if I'm like a first year head coach like Byron, I would not want to come here. You know what I'm saying?
I
I think
agree.
Brian Flores could flourish there because you got your defense. You know what I'm saying? But Brian Flores is a great coach. Like, him and I both said, like, we don't know why the fuck it was button heads, of course, in Miami, but like, this guy deserves to be a head coach somewhere, and he was a great coach. But yeah, it's a bad spot, man. I just feel like it's gonna be one of those people that is gonna be very underwhelming who goes there. Like, who was the finalist again for you?
The finalists, let me pull it back up. It was Byron Leftwich, Dennis Allen, Brian Flores, and Aaron Glenn.
It'll
from
probably be
the-
like Dennis Allen or
the Lions
Aaron Glenn.
defensive coordinator.
It'll be Dennis Allen. I feel like Dennis Allen or Aaron Glenn will be the guys there.
Aaron Glenn?
No, I think Dennis Allen's gonna get it. You know,
But like, I just kind of noticed this. Like, why the fuck is the Lions defensive
Yeah, right, that's
coordinator
what
getting a fucking interview for this? But I'm with you. I actually, and I've said how much I love Brian Flores. But if I was the Saints, this is exactly what I would do. I would definitely pick Dennis Allen for a couple of reasons. One, dude did such a good job with the defense. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
he's an internal guy.
and yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah.
internal, and I'm a big fan of rewarding people for a good job. This was his first year as their defensive coordinator, but regardless,
they did great. Yeah.
exactly, they did great. I think this was his first year as their defensive coordinator. I'm trying to double check on that, but also, this is the other reason, because I would tell Dennis Allen straight up after I offer him this job, because they still have the rights to Sean Payton. Like, if Sean Payton wants to come back and coach, and he picks, like, if they had, say they had Dennis Allen, and they were like, we're sticking with Dennis Allen, they would still definitely be trading his rights. They're not going to give away Sean Payton's rights for nothing. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
But what I would tell Dennis Allen is I'd be like, listen, you're the head coach, but if Sean Payton wants to come back next year,
You're out.
you're either out
stepping
or you
back
can
down.
go back to defensive
Yeah.
coordinator. I would literally have that in his contract, because if I'm the Saints, I'm not letting Sean Payton leave New Orleans. I'm sorry, bro.
No.
Like, it really doesn't matter who's coaching. Like, even if Brian Flores was the coach, bro, I would still drop Brian Flores for Sean Payton, because Sean Payton is just that level of, he's had that level of success to the point where I'm not letting anybody else take your job.
Yeah. It's definitely a tricky situation in New Orleans. It's going to be a rough year, guys. I mean, Sean Payton, let's run it down before we move on real quick. Let's give him some flowers real quick. Sean Payton, man, 15 years or 15 seasons with the team. He won a Super Bowl in 2009, the 2009 season. Coach of the year in his first year coaching. And
I'm sorry, this was Dennis Allen's 6th year as the coordinator. I was looking at something else, and
yeah,
it
he's
was
been
only
there for a
showing.
minute. So yeah, I feel like he'll get the job.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, 152 and 89 all-time record. So I mean, hats off. Good job, Sean Payton. Just great career, and we'll see you again. I know we will. We'll see you again,
We'll see you again.
especially on TV.
Yeah.
I have
yeah,
some.
for sure.
If you don't have any bulletins, I have some.
I have
bulletins.
one last
Okay,
thing.
Okay.
I just wanted to shout out Dan Quinn, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a hot name
Hot.
for head coach. He's recently pulled his name out of the hat, but he did not pull his name until multiple jobs were taken. So I'm sorry, but when you pull your name out of a hat after people have already been picked out of the hat, it's really not pulling your name back.
Jerry
But
Jones
he
did that little.
Yep, he did get Jerry Jones to give him some more money, so got himself a little raise.
Hey,
in the
got a
process.
raise.
Wasn't
Good
a waste
job.
of time. Wasn't a waste of time.
And it's smart because Mike McCarthy's on that hot seat.
Yes, he is.
Oh, so he's like, oh, I can take over this whole team. Ooh, I'm gonna stay around a little bit longer. But yeah, I got some little key little bulletin notes. The Raiders have interviewed defensive coordinator for the Bucks, Todd Bowles. So that's a name to look out for the Raiders. Raiders are, doing their due diligence around the league. Jim Harbaugh is the number one name that we've been
Josh
talking about.
McDaniels has been coming up too. I feel
McDaniels?
like this. I'm trying to look to confirm, but I'm pretty sure this is the first person that has asked to interview Josh McDaniels, which is
the
just
Raiders, yep.
insane to me. Especially I'm so shocked the Texans didn't interview him.
They don't trust
with
him, man.
Caserio, but I
trust
think
his
that
ass.
people are like, nah, screw this guy because of what he did.
So the Dolphins, they had 3 finalists. One of them's gone now. Brian Dabble was one of their finalists. All right. So now they're down to Mike McDaniel and Kellen Moore for the Dolphins head coaching spot. So your boy, you called him out, Mike McDaniel.
That's my guy.
He might get a spot. What do you think about Kellen Moore if he goes there?
I think that would be a complete disaster.
Okay.
I think that I've said it. I don't understand the Kellen Moore infatuation. It makes absolutely no sense to me. He has not had that level of success to the point where to where his name is. People talk about him like he's some kind of guru, and he's not. That offense has seen struggles. I would argue that offense has potential for so much more, and that they did not accomplish the most out of the offense. So I do not understand. I honestly feel like it's because he's a young buck. I feel like that's why. He's just a young guy.
Yeah, he looks
and he went
25 or
straight from
26.
being their backup quarterback to being a coach. I think he was just a quarterback coach and then to offensive coordinator. And he gets way too much love. He's not worthy. And I think that would be a complete disaster. I think that, honestly, Kellen Moore should realize that he needs more time before he's ready for something like that because he's going to blow it.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't. I would.
If he gets a job this offseason, I absolutely think he'll blow it and he won't get another opportunity.
What if he doesn't get a job and everyone's like, he's like knocking back on the Cowboys' door. He's like, can I come back?
No, I mean they're definitely gonna.
I know. It'd be funny though. Of course, Big Ben retired. Just great career.
He was a little rapey.
Didn't say he's a great guy.
He's a little rapey. Okay, we acknowledge that.
Okay, so some lady on our Twitter attacked us. Was it an attack?
Oh, it was an attack.
So I posted the article about Big Ben. I said, great career. 18 seasons with the Steelers, Rookie of the Year, 2004, 2-time Super Bowl champ, 6-time Pro Bowl, and 2-time passing yard leader in 2014 and 2018. And I said, great career. She attacked us saying, he's not a good guy. And did I ever say he was a good lady? If you're watching this, did I ever say he was a good guy? I never said once he was a great guy, okay? So stop taking stuff out of context, okay? Because now you're pissing me off, okay? Anyway, but yeah, he retires. He's done. Great career. First ballot Hall of Famer for me.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And then we have one more bulletin is the AB news. We have some AB drama again, of course.
Yes.
Before we touch on the games.
How could we not have AB drama?
Okay, so let's have a little timeline here. So he goes on record saying that he loved to play for Lamar Jackson. Okay, which would, hey, if you're looking at it right now, that would be a great spot for him to go. The Baltimore Ravens, that would be great. So then he tweeted himself in the Ravens uniform doing this. Don't have the muscles like he does, but he's like doing like this, right? That's okay. So now you're just hoping for a spot on a roster somewhere. You know.
I mean, he's targeting them because his cousin is Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson. That's the one bridge that I feel like he's trying to lean on.
And then John Harbaugh is a player's coach. Like John is like one of those guys. Well, let's meet up, let's have dinner, and then we'll talk it out and shit. So he actually went on HBO and talked to Bryant Gumbel and said the Bucs offered him $200,000 to get mental health help. That was interesting. I mean, I don't know when. I didn't watch the interview.
Yeah, they didn't. We couldn't. So I actually have HBO Max, but something is messed up with the account, and I can't watch it because I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
The full thing. But yeah, they didn't specify when that text was said, and they said that their GM Jason Light also texted him again and was like, "Don't try to spin this any other way."
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I do think that there's a chance, just because of how formal organizations have to be with people, that he could get some money out of them. How much? I have no idea. But I'll tell you this.
I'll tell you
I think.
how
much. Go ahead. Tell me.
I actually have. So AB and his lawyers are taking legal action against the Bucs, and they are trying to pursue money for his ankle surgery, and money they feel is owed by league's collective bargaining agreement, as well as looking into a possible civil lawsuit in the form of defamation for the Bucs, claiming he had a mental health episode. So I don't know.
Well, that doesn't tell us how much he's
I know, but I'm just giving out to
what he's suing
what
for.
They're trying to how much what they're
I'll
trying
say
to
this
get.
about the whole situation. You doing that strongly decreases your chance of getting on the Ravens. I mean, dude, we've watched this guy fuck over owner after owner. So I think that owners are very hesitant to touch Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I would too.
Listen, I don't want to say it's impossible because he's just that good, but I don't see how he gets another opportunity. I mean,
No,
never
dude.
say never with the NFL, but I already said this 2 times ago. After the Patriots, I thought he was done. Yeah, I don't know. I thought he might have been done after the Raiders, and the Patriots took him, and then I don't know, but I don't think so. One last thing that I wanted to talk about was a rumor that got circulated earlier this week, and Jaguars fans, we know this guy way too well. Jason La Canfora. Okay, it's the same guy that's always lying about Jaguar shit. He just makes things up all the time.
Stop doing that.
And he wasn't the only one. There was a couple of, there was more than one person that had heard this, quote unquote. But because his name's attached to it, it probably was bullshit from the start. But basically, there was rumors that the Arizona Cardinals were not going to pay the coaches their playoff bonuses because the team finished so shitty.
Oh, what?
Now,
why would you do that?
They refuted this and was like, that guy Jason never even called to ask us. That's what the Cardinals said. And they were like, but that is not true, okay? And they were basically like, yeah, you said that 8 days after the game was over. Like, give us a little time to send the freaking checks out. Listen.
What's your problem, buddy?
Listen, when I first heard this, and I was like, oh my God, if they did that. When I saw Jason's name, I thought, probably not. Probably won't happen. But when I first heard the story, it was on Pat McAfee. And Ian wasn't sure, but he was like, they might actually be allowed to do that because it might be owner's discretion. It says here that it's actually not owner's discretion and that they would have to pay it out. And that the Cardinals owner is actually a lawyer. So, they were basically like, you think a lawyer's going to just knowingly break the law like that? Because, not the law, but their collective bargaining agreement? No. But yeah, they ended up paying them, and that was stupid that this was even reported. But I'll say this, dude, that would have been a quick way to destroy everything you ever built there. Nobody would ever trust you. Coaches wouldn't want to coach there. I mean, it would be awful. So, obviously they weren't going to do something.
And hey, shout out to him, a lawyer, and being a freaking NFL owner.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay, big money.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you got anything else?
I
for
don't.
The off-season bullshit?
Are you ready to talk about the championship weekend?
I think I'm ready. Oh, wait. Hold
on.
Let's not back it up. Let's not skip out on the Tom Brady might retire segment.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Listen, if Tom Brady retires, Max, I'm gonna have a party at my house. I'm not lying to you. I will throw a Tom Brady's gone party.
Can I come over?
Absolutely. Everybody that hates Tom can come. Everybody that hates Tom.
You hear that, guys?
Listen, I understand that Tom is the greatest of all time. I understand that. I understand that I got to watch greatness, okay? Something that many people would... I don't think anybody... I don't even think Pat Mahomes will top the level of success that Tom Brady had in the NFL. But, okay... I hope he goes, man. It's way past time, okay? It's time to pass the torch to somebody else. And I hear people say all the time, like, oh, the NFL without Tom Brady isn't good for the NFL. Yes, the fuck it is.
Hey, they have plenty of young guys.
We got plenty of players that can be the next great one. And I want a chance at a freaking Super Bowl, dude. This guy's been in the way for years. All right, let's get him out of here.
Hey.
Listen, congratulations, Tom. But basically, Tom, this all came up because they weren't even talking about this before the weekend of the divisional rounds. But basically, like Tom said, like it's gonna come down to his family. Is pretty much what I took out of it. Was like, like I need to sit down and talk with my family, and like they deserve what they need from me as a husband and a dad. Blah blah blah. Listen, it's time, bro. Go be a dad. Go be a husband, all right? You don't have shit to prove to anybody.
Do you hate your wife? Because you have a beautiful wife, by the way. Beautiful. At home. Just fade away.
Beautiful baby boy you kiss on the lips.
Fade away, okay? Just go and spend some time with her, okay? She's probably wondering, Tom, you're about to be 45 years old. Why the fuck are you still playing? You won enough Super Bowls. Is it me? Now you're going to question the marriage, right, Tom? And you don't want to do that, okay? You don't want to do that. That's going to cause friction in the household, and that's one thing you don't want to do, all right? So just stop, retire, make your wife fucking happy, and go spend it with her.
And give us Jaguars and other surrounding teams a chance. All 3 playoff runs, I've said this before, I'm emphasizing it again. All 3 playoff runs that I have watched as a Jaguars fan were ended by Tom Brady. So although I respect the greatness, it's time to hang it up, and I would be forever grateful if you called it. Because honestly, I do believe that if Tom Brady was like, screw my family, I do what I want, which he doesn't do that. I'm just saying, like, if he took that approach, I truly feel this man could play to 50. Like the way that
70,
dude, the way he's playing right now, like I feel very confident that he could play at 50, given that he's at this level right now. So, please hang it up, Tom. We are tired of it. Gronk also chimed in, and I feel that they had this video circulate, and I feel it was taken a little out of context because if you watch the entire thing, he really was not saying that he was strongly considering retirement.
Yeah.
He was basically saying like, because they took this one clip where he was like, if you ask me after the game, do I want to retire? My answer is going to be like, hell yeah, I'm not. Or if I'm going to play next year, my answer is going to be like, hell no, I ain't playing next year. But he was like, but that's coming a day after we just lost this game. And you know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm going to give myself time for my body to heal and see where I'm at. To me, I think it's going to be a package deal. I think that if Tom comes back, Gronk will come back. If Tom does not come back, I think Gronk does not come back.
No, yeah.
But, Gronk, I mean, that's just speculation. I just think Gronk loves Tom so much. And, like, I think that it'll make him sad to play, like, to think about playing football without Tom because he's only played with Tom. So I think, and I think if they do, like, if Tom retires, I feel like they're going to do one more fucking bad boys for life, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as much as I don't like Tom Brady, the bad boys for life shit gives me goddamn goosebumps because I'm like, yo, this is like one of the coolest things ever. Not just Brady's legacy, but y'all's friendship and the success that you had together when they dropped the bad boys for life. I'm like, damn, I hate y'all. Y'all so fucking cool.
Nothing but love for you, Tom, but it's time for you to get the fuck up out of this fucking
and give us one last Bad Boys for Life video.
Get out.
All right, we're done with the bullshit. Let's get to the games.
Woo!
Get to the games, all right?
Thank you for the 2 viewers watching it live. I fucking love y'all, man.
We do. And me too. And we're down to 3 last games for the season.
Damn, bro.
We don't count the Pro Bowl. Fuck the Pro Bowl.
That. We're not even talking about the fucking Pro Bowl.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I look at this week's games,
They're like,
and I do not think they will be as good as they were last week. Like I don't think
they're just
that,
fucking
I think that
cakewalks,
it would be hard to
dude.
top last week regardless. But I mean, let's start with the Bengals taking on the Chiefs. I mean, I didn't even think the Bengals were gonna be here. Okay, and let me say this. I do not want Joe Burrow to win a Super Bowl this year. Nothing against the Bengals fans, nothing against y'all, but I can't have this guy. He's so young. His cocky ass just won a Super Bowl in year 2. Hell no, I do not want to see a cocky
confident,
Joe Burrow.
man.
He is confident, but if he wins the Super Bowl, I know he's going to tip over to cocky, and I don't want to see that. That annoys the shit
You don't like
out
the
of me.
sunglasses. You don't like the cigars. You don't like all that like dancing in the fucking.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Honestly, I don't. But I don't want to see him have that level of success that fast. Call me a hater, whatever. But I have a young quarterback over here on the Jaguars, and like I don't want to see some other young ass quarterback. And the thing about Joe is he's young, but he's not actually super young because he came into the league at like 24, so he's 25 right now. He's actually older than Trevor Lawrence, but. Regardless, I just don't want to see you have that level of success this early.
Yeah.
And on top of that, dude, I just think the Chiefs are a way better team. I mean, we just saw what they did against the Bills. Like, look at the fight in Pat Mahomes, man. That's playoff Pat, all right? That's who Aaron Rodgers should fucking be in the playoffs.
You know what?
But
Hey,
whatever.
I actually looked at Chella. Shout her out in the pod. I said, this game, it actually makes me a little sad. I wish my team could do something like this, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's
come
amazing.
on, dude.
It's amazing, and I know that the defense didn't really do great against Buffalo, but it's Buffalo, bro. And listen, we're talking about a team that just gave up 9 sacks to the Titans. They're not going to give up 9 sacks to the Chiefs and win, dude. Chris Jones could be very big. So, yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs all day. I got them winning by 10.
Okay, well, the spread's 7, so you got them covering. Okay. I'm with you, dude. I mean, hey, nothing but respect for Cincinnati fans. We're not being
and you have a great foundation, but I just don't think that you're ready. I mean, dude, be blessed. You got 2 dubs in the playoffs.
Hey, and listen, 10 years, y'all are set. Y'all gonna be fighting for the next 10 years. I mean, look at this little foundation here. They're all young. I mean, Burrow's 25, but still, you see quarterbacks playing till 45.
Yeah,
nowadays.
it's still young. It's still young. For sure.
Yeah. So nothing but love for the Cincinnati fans. You got to build them a fucking indoor practice facility. They're fucking practicing underneath an overpass. I don't know if you knew that.
I just didn't know that.
They're outdoor. They're the only outdoor. Pat McAfee. If you ever watch his show, he.
I heard him talking about that, but I was working and I didn't know who he was talking
underneath
about.
the fucking overpass. They're just like a little backyard fucking football.
So like you could
here.
be like driving home from work and see them like practicing, or I guess they normally practice early. So you'd be driving like to work and you look over and they're like practicing down there.
Oh, there's Mixon. Oh, there's Joey. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why that seems like
freezing fucking cold, by the way.
Dude, not just because of that. Like, this is actually the biggest problem I hear with what you're saying to me. So you're telling me that, like, somebody from another team could, like, have somebody drop them off on this overpass and literally stare down and watch what they're doing?
Probably, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if it's safe. You might die.
It probably isn't safe, but wow. I mean, dude, you pay me enough, I'll fucking do it. Whatever.
I mean, yeah, you got a whistle blowing. No one can hear it because all the fucking cars are beeping their horns like...
Dude, honestly, it sounds like you wouldn't even need to be there. It sounds like what you would need to do is get a video camera, tape it to, like, the thing, have it pointed in a perfect direction, come back, pick it up after practice.
Yeah. Or you can be an asshole fucking car going, like, 5 miles per hour. You got the little GoPro out the fucking window, and you're like doing this. Everyone's like, "Get the fuck out of the way!" And you're just over here just filming the fucking practice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, Andy Reid.
Yeah. They should definitely work on that. I don't know.
No, that's
kind of
ridiculous.
cheap shit is that?
But anyway, I got the Chiefs winning. Definitely by like 7. So I got a 10-point game. I got a 10-point game from Chiefs. Chiefs winning, man.
Okay, and we should chat out. I don't want to not acknowledge it in case somebody thinks we don't know. Yes, they played against each other. Like, what was it?
Yeah,
the second
Bengals
to
won.
last week. of the NFL of the regular season, and the Bengals whooped up on them a little bit. But I said it after they beat. Actually, it was let me see. It was like actually it was like
that was like
fourth,
their last
it was like
loss.
No, yeah, it was their last loss, but it was a few weeks. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry, I was right. I'm so dumb. I see the postseason schedule too, so I counted that. But no, yeah, it was the second to last week. They pulled off a thriller, but listen, I said it at the time. That's the reason I would never pick them to win this game. Like, you're not going to beat them twice.
And you know what? This is the one team I called right last week. I said the Chiefs are going to be the Bills, and I said, does lightning strike twice in the same spot?
No, it does not.
And it's not going to happen again. Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl, and you know what? I can't say this for my Packers anymore. They might win that bitch.
Yikes. All right, let's go ahead and move on to a more exciting game. And this is the game where lightning did strike twice.
It did. It struck 6 times, actually.
Yeah, 6 times.
Jesus.
But we got the San Francisco 49ers, surprisingly, taking on the Los Angeles Rams for the 3rd time this season. The San Francisco 49ers beat them the first time. The second time, they had to win and they came back. I think they were down 14 at half last week of the season to get into the playoffs. Now they're facing each other a 3rd time. This 49ers team is clearly McVay's kryptonite, specifically Kyle Shanahan. Can they do it, man? I mean, let's talk about Jimmy G before we even make picks. Okay, this is a guy that has not thrown a touchdown in the postseason. Well, I think he's had like less than 400 passing yards in the 2 games that he's played.
Man,
this guy does nothing except win for some weird reason.
We always say he's a winner. We do say he's a winner.
He is a winner. But in order to be a winner like that, you know what you need? You need a lot of shit around you.
Oh, yeah.
That's why Jimmy G has success. And not success as far as statistics and accolades, but success in winning is just because he's got a ton of good weapons around him and a great play caller in Kyle Shanahan. But, dude, I just look at this Rams team. They're clicking so well. Obviously, the Bucs did outscore them in the second half of their game last week, and they almost lost it. But a big part of that was fumbles from Akers. So if you can just clean that up, Matt Stafford not throw a pick 6 like he's been rolling. If he can continue to keep that trend, I think that the Rams could win this easily. I'm sorry, Knight, but I just do. I think they could win this pretty easily. But even if they have some struggles, I still feel like they can pull out a close one here. I can't pick Jimmy G to beat this Rams team with how much talent and how loaded it is.
Okay, I respect that. By the way, let me put in perspective right here. If you want to go to this game right now, guys, tickets as low as $419.
Yikes.
Low. You're up there in the fucking nosebleeds, all right? And one thing about this LA team, the fans, they have none. So the Niners, this is going to be a home game for them, okay? All the players for the Rams, they need to be selling some fucking families tickets.
But did you see that the Rams are trying to limit who can get the tickets?
Yeah, because they know it's going to be a fucking Niners.
So we'll see how it goes. I mean, maybe they do a good job. Maybe it's just empty. Maybe they're like, you know what? No fans.
Right. You know what, man?
We want to win. No fans.
Trent Williams is questionable. Remember, he got banged up.
He got
likely to play.
And Debo's not even on the injury report,
Debo's fine.
so he's good to go. Kittle's also good to go.
Right now, the Niners are 3.5-point underdogs.
Yeah. And Raheem Morris, the Rams DC, he's hungry. If you didn't see that update from him, yeah, he basically said that the 49ers put them in a body bag after Kittle's comment in Week 18 where he said the most physical team will win. And he was like, it's time to pay him back.
Okay, so now they got something. Ooh, this is going to be a nice
talking big.
Hey, this is going to be the 6 o'clock game, or what?
Yeah,
6:30?
It's 6:30
Oh,
game.
it's going to be the nighttime. And guess what, guys? Guess what? I got Niners winning.
How much, though? Do you think it's like going to be close, or do you think it won't be close?
I don't want them to win. Because I actually would love to see a Chiefs and Rams fucking Super Bowl. That would be a fireworks show. You're talking about 4th of July came early for us? Oh, man.
Yeah, a rematch from hell.
Oh, yeah. But this could be a rematch for the Niners and Chiefs as well. Because Mahomes is going to win again. But I don't know. I want to go against the grain. I want to go. You know what? This
That's
team,
what I was talking about.
This
when I
team
said rematch.
shocked me, man. This team, like, they beat us. They beat the Packers, and you know, I had them going to the fucking Super Bowl. So I got the fucking Niners going to the Super Bowl now. Okay?
Oh my God!
Are you kidding
serious?
me? Yes, I do. I got them going.
How? Tell me how they win.
Defense, run game, Debo, Jimmy G.
Okay, because last
Hold on.
week
Let's take a little Jimmy G and sprinkle it on all that. I feel
I'm just
like he's
saying.
gonna
Last week
bounce
they put
back
up 6 points on the offense.
against a great team.
Do you think that you don't think the Rams defense is on par with your defense?
No,
Interesting.
because listen, did you see that meltdown last week?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
I mean, the Bucks offense to me is a lot more dangerous than the 49ers offense.
You're right, but hey, listen. Kyle Shanahan got the number. He ain't lose.
We'll see.
He's not gonna lose again. Hey, Knipe, you're going to the fucking Super Bowl and you're probably gonna lose, but you're still going. But I want to see the Rams win, but I don't think they will. So put it in your fucking book. Put it in there.
You're crazy. You're a madman. I don't understand how you
I
could
could
pick
be.
the Niners, but hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see how you reacted to the Eagles when I picked them against the
Yeah.
Bucks. That's how I feel right now. I feel you're making an Eagles pick, and that's okay. We all make them every now and again.
No,
But
the only reason is because they beat the Packers. I feel like the Packers were the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
did they beat you guys, or did you guys just blow it?
Same.
No, it's not the
They
same.
blocked a punt. They
It's not the
fucking blocked a
same.
field goal.
To me,
Debo
that's not
took the
things you're
kick
going to
return.
be able to do consistently. Like, you're not going to be able to rely on the fact that you're going to block a punt. You're not going to be able to rely on the fact that you're going to block a field goal. You're going to need your offense to step up. The only way the Niners have a chance in this game to me is if, honestly, I would start Debo Samuel at running back.
And
I would start him there, and I would just give him – he's the only one getting carries.
He probably will. And
We'll see.
you know what? And if you see Robbie Gold's little pre-game warm-ups, this man's kicking in front of everyone. He kicked in front of the Dallas Cowboys
Yeah, that was
cheerleaders.
funny.
He kicked in front of our little player introduction. And listen, this game's going to come down to a 23-20 game. Robbie Gold's going to freaking hit it.
We'll see. I think you're crazy because I think the Rams are going to drop 30. But that's all we got for this episode.
No DraftKings, just fucking
No
play
DraftKings,
your,
yeah.
play.
Just do whatever.
Just play.
I think I did do a DraftKings just for fun.
I didn't.
But I don't even really want to. Who cares? Like, who
It's
cares?
2 games. Just play.
Exactly.
Play's good.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah, I did do one for fun. I did one with. Oh yeah. Okay. So I'll talk about it a little bit because I won last week on a free lineup.
Oh,
My
yeah, for
lineup
the game.
scored because I had Tariq Hill and Gabriel Davis in the lineup,
Yep.
and my lineup scored like 199 points. It was a free entry, and I won $1 on it.
$10 lineup. You
I
would've
know,
won, like,
right? I would have won
thousands of
good money,
dollars.
but I've only been
Damn.
doing the free one, so I got $1 out of it. So I was like, I'll put $1 into this week just for fun. But I don't believe, just do your thing on DraftKings. I just wanted to shout myself out for
Good
getting
job,
a
man.
$1 lineup on
I lost.
$1 on a free lineup. If you don't play free lineups, then play one and you'll figure out why
fucking
it's so
hard.
impressive.
They're hard.
All right, well, everybody, enjoy your championship weekend. We only have 3 games of football left, and then we are deep diving into the off season. So enjoy it. Have a great weekend. We're out of here.
Peace.